Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream.
So are you as excited as I am right now? Because I just got my new SVJ, and here's the most awesome thing about it. It hasn't even been driven. I haven't even taken it out yet. I don't even know how awesome it is. No, maybe just joking a little bit. I drove it for about 20 miles, and let me tell you, it is the best car Lamborghini has ever put out. Now, here you'll see it next to my S. This is the S you've seen on my channel that I basically love to death. I've customized this car with basically 1016 Anarchy wheels, and it looks spectacular. And this is my brand new SVJ Coupe in Verde Ithica. They both have pearl paint, and this one is pearl green, this one is pearl white. Now, I've always wanted a Verde Ithica car, especially on the Aventador, because for those of you that don't know, Verde Ithica was really a color that was synonymous with the Murcielago when it first came out, and it was one of the first pearl level paint jobs that basically was available on a V12, which was basically the pearl yellow and the pearl green being this exact color. So I think it has a very historic and iconic feel to it, which is why I think it's one of the best colors ever for a V12. Now, the SVJ right off the top, you can really see the differences between my S and the SVJ, but it is, let me just tell you before we even get into the review, it is a breathtaking drive experience, better than any other car I've ever driven. It's better than a 918, it's better than the Performante, and I never thought I would say this. A V12 big Aventador is better than a Performante. And I don't know if you remember, but I called the Performante the best driver's car ever. And I am actually saying that this V12 big body is a better driver's car than the Performante. So what makes it so good? Well, let's basically talk about design first. The SVJ immediately striking right in your face, you can clearly see the vents. And I wanted to have it next to my S because I wanted you guys to kind of get an idea for what I'm saying when I'm saying it looks a lot newer. And we're going to have a video where we review the two together, but I wanted you to basically see, you see these huge vents, you see the ALS system, you see this really redone front bonder, which I think looks amazing, and you see this width carried on here, and then it goes into these side skirts and these gigantic vents. Now this particular unit, you'll notice something that's different than all the other cars on the market. There is no giant SVJ here, and I think it looks so much better. I hate these freaking graphics they put in these cars, make them look like these race cars for the street that just aren't necessary. Now, design-wise, I think this is one of the best specs you can get out there. It's basically Verde Ithica. It has the branding package, which means that everything that typically is in that dull, matte black plastic look is basically painted gloss black. It gives it a much richer look, and it also matches the wheels. But in addition to that, it flows so much better with the carbon. And you can see here on the back end, you see that basically you don't get the same glass as with the S, you get this more closed off engine. You see the gold engine true, you see the green matching suspension. And what's actually really funny about this car is that in order to open this, you can't do it from inside. You actually have to open these little vents, and two people have to basically pull it off. It's extremely light, but very different. And then on the rear here, you'll basically notice that it's very much like a Performante, except much bigger, more carbon, and the same kind of ALA system. Now, it comes with the center lock wheels. There is no option that I know for 5 lug wheels, but you get your ceramic brakes. These are basically color matched to the car with the green. And then you also get, of course, this specific style of wheel, or you get the multi-spoke wheel, which in this particular case, seeing these in person, I feel that the multi-spoke wheel is probably more aggressive and more dynamic, but this is also a very good look, and I think it's a very good looking wheel from the factory. Now, one of the things that I would love to see is basically a car that's lowered even further down, and since you can't space out, we might have to go with a Novitec wheel to give it that same stance that the S has to really make it pop and come out as the ultimate FU car, you know, ever made anywhere. Inside, you'll notice a couple of big differences. And the big thing with the SVJ that I love is that you get all of these rawness. You get these carbon doors here. You get all the suede and basically leather interior with the piping, the carbon boot at the bottom. Basically, you're sitting in a carbon bucket. And one of the things that you don't get with the SVJ that you get with basically all the other Aventadors is you don't get a glove box, you don't get a center thing. You basically get this really stupid net here that basically becomes the only thing that basically you have for storage, which is like awful. The digital display is fantastic. It's very different than what you expect for the Aventador. You basically get the same digital display that you get in the Perf where it shows you the ALA, etc. But there's so much more going on and it's so much more engaging and exciting. Again, every possible main option was put on this. The only thing it's basically missing is all of the stuff you see in black can be done in carbon. And again, it's a preference if you want to spend an extra 20, 30 grand to really full spec this to a full like 620K sticker. But overall, I think it's just a spectacular car. And I think one of the best cars you can buy, let me rephrase that, the best car, not just best looking, but the best driver's car you can buy under $1 million. They've taken my breath away with this car. Like I've pretty much never expected this. And let me tell you about the drive a little bit. We'll do another video later when we go for a drive. But one of the basic things you'll notice with the SVJ, and this is coming from an owner's perspective, not from basically like a reviewer, right? One of the things you'll notice is one of my biggest complaints about all my Aventadors has always been the clunky gearboxes. And that's always been like clunk, clunk, and it's just very annoying with the SCT. Now, we've heard from Lamborghini 100 times that they cannot do a dual clutch transmission basically based on the design, regardless of how expensive it is, it just doesn't work. And if they did, they would have to re-engineer the car, at which point it wouldn't be a V12 anymore. So you have all of these reasons why things can't happen, which is okay. But what they've done in this car is they basically have taken a single clutch transmission with paddles and made it drive better than a dual clutch transmission. How? I'm not an engineer, I don't know how to do this. But after driving it, I now understand how it's possible that it actually set the world record at the Nürburgring. Because I didn't get that before until I actually spent some time with it and I really understand. The shifting is magnificent. And that's something I never thought I would ever say in my life, that an Aventador has magnificent shifting. Like these are things that don't come together. Just like you don't hear Aventador and driver's car together. You hear Aventador stunt car, Performante, driver's car. But this is the pinnacle of everything Lamborghini should be. It was what the Performante was from a feeling standpoint, but with the design and beauty of the most incredible platform Lamborghini ever had. Doors that go up, insane large size. I mean, it's just spectacular. And I can't wait to take it on the road with you so you can see the differences. But I can't stress enough for you that basically my first, couple of days with it, and I can tell you, I've never felt anything like it, and I can't recommend it enough. So, we'll do a review next so you guys can see the differences between the two cars up and close and personal. But for now, if you want to see more of the SVJ, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know if you think I picked the right color. I think this is a spectacular color, but sometimes you never know. People have different tastes in different things. But leave me a comment, and then of course, if you want to learn how to actually hack cars instead of lease them or buy them, and how you could actually own an exotic for as little as $300 a month, there's a link in the bio so you can take the free training. It doesn't cost you anything. Learn, expand your mind, especially if you're quarantined and you're staying safe at home. Learn more right now. And basically, let's get to the next video where we'll do a review, and then later we'll go for a drive. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to go back to run some business on, but this thing is insane.